Good evening, students. Rushdis are back again with a sequel to our previous lecture. Previous lecture was VDL 110. है ना? Now this lecture I am giving you I'm going to discuss with you the EMF and potential difference in more detail, giving an example. Okay? That's clear to you? So, see the topic, differentiating between EMF and potential difference in electromagnetic induction. This is lecture 1 or lecture 2. This is lecture 2. Yes or no? Just let me check. Yes. This is lecture 2. I'm going to discuss with you quickly. And anyway, as usual, I have to tell you about my credentials, which I think all of you are very much aware of. Example is what? The same is a cylindrical region magnetic field. Uniform B is present. Uniform magnetic field B is present in a cylindrical region and increasing at a rate of dB by dt. dB by dt is positive. Means if it is into the plane and dB by dt positive, then B must be increasing. This figure 1. Okay? And I have put a square frame. Square frame. Let's see what is square frame. Non-uniform conducting square loop. Non-uniform means all sides may not have same resistivity, but all of them are conductors. And as you see here, AB conductor having resistance 1 ohm, BC conductor having resistance 2 ohm, CD conductor having resistance 3 ohm, DA conductor having resistance 4 ohm, but all the lengths are same. They may be different material, we do not. But they are non-uniform conducting square loops. So there are 4 junctions A, B, C, D. These points, they separate the different conductors. Okay, mark it. So the rate of increase of B is 0.1 Tesla per second. And B bar points into the plane. Of course, across you can see these are the B point in the plane. A non-uniform conducting square frame ABCD of side L is equal to 1 meter. The length of the square loop, the length of each rod in the square loop is L is 1 meter. This is placed symmetrically about the axis of the cylindrical region. This is the O axis. Axis passes through the O along the length of the cylinder. So this is placed symmetrically about that axis. Okay, and it is fully inside the magnetic field, as you can see. Now, no part of this square loop is beyond the magnetic field region. So, the very simple question, simple arrangement. My question is find out the EMF and potential difference across the ends of each conducting rod. For the EMF and electrostatic potential across each conductor. How much EMF is induced in each conductor? What is the potential difference across the ends of each conductor? That's what the question is about. And also show the electrostatic field in each conductor. Non-conservative electric field will appear, obeying the Lenz's law as far as direction is concerned. And we have already discussed in the lecture 1. But if electrostatic potential difference is created, then electrostatic field must be there. So that you have to find out. That's what the also show the electrostatic field in each conductor. Resistance of each conductor is shown in the figure 1. मैं बता दिया ना, ये AB का 1 ohm, BC का 2 ohm, like that. इसका सॉल्यूशन निकालते हैं भाई. सेम डायग्राम को मैंने इधर कॉपी किया, फिगर 2 बनाया. So EMF induced in this total square loop, how much? The flux by dt, that magnitude of EMF in an anticlockwise manner, it will be induced because obeying the Lenz's law, because it is increasing into the plane. So the EMF will be induced in anticlockwise manner because EMC will appear in anticlockwise manner, as I have discussed in VDL 110 in the previous lecture. And that magnitude, how much total EMF magnitude in the whole square frame? स्क्वायर फ्रेम को मैं थोड़ा सा ठीक स्पेलिंग मिस्टेक कर दिया. स्क्वायर फ्रेम कितना होगा भाई? डी फ्लक्स बाय dt, a into dB by dt, a is a constant, b is changing with time, so a is L square dB by dt, 1 square into 0.1 Tesla per second, so 0.1 volts. खत्म बात, very simple. In anti-clockwise manner as per the Lenz's law as shown in figure 2. ये देखो, मैं तो EMF को कुछ EMF बैटरी सिंबल से रिप्रेजेंट कर दिया. एवरी पॉइंट ऑफ द स्क्वायर लूप विल बी ए माइक्रो EMF सेल. तो मैंने लेकिन रिप्रेजेंट किया कुछ फाइनाइट नंबर ऑफ EMF सेल से, बट कीपिंग टेकिंग केयर दैट दे आर ऑल कनेक्टेड एंटी क्लॉकवाइज मैन. EMF is due to non-conservative electric field EMC. That also I discussed it. If you are not gone through the previous lecture, go through VDL 110, referring to our discussion in the previous video lecture VDL 110. Okay, इसमें भी हम लोग निकालें. What is EAB बेटा? O के साथ A and B को join कर दो. Then EMF induced in the OAB triangle will be EMF from A to B. This I discussed in the VDL 110. So EAB is area of the triangle OAB into dB by dt. So half 1 by, sorry, what is the area of this triangle? 1/4 of the total area. So that is L square by 4 into dB by dt. 1 by 4, 1 square into 0.1. कितना होगा रे? 0.025 volt, 25 millivolt होगा EAB. Similarly, EBC कितना होगा? सेम एरिया ऑफ OBC into dB by dt, area same, L square by 4. Similarly, EMF with CD also same, DA also same. Okay, obviously you can just say by AB, BC and CD and DA they are symmetrically placed. Total is 0.1 volt EMF, so in each it will be 0.1 by 4. That way also you can add. It's a simple geometrical arrangement. So EAB, EBC, EMF CD is equal to MDA, all are equal, that is 0.025 volt or 25 millivolt. खत्म बात. तो हर एक क्वेश्चन का एक पार्ट आंसर हो गया. हर एक कंडक्टर का EMF कितना हर एक कंडक्टर में कितना EMF जनरेट हुआ है, 25 मिलीवोल्ट और 0.025 वोल्ट. तो टोटल करंट कितना होगा लूप में बेटा? टोटल EMF 0.1 वोल्ट एंड टोटल रेजिस्टेंस ये जो सीरीज में है 1 2 3 4 जो सीरीज में है, टोटल 1 + 2 + 3 + 4 विथ 10 ओम. सो कितना करंट कैसा आएगा? ऑल कंडक्टर्स इन सीरीज, सो करंट इन द लूप I is equal to E loop by R loop. All loop R is the resistance of the total loop. So 0.1 volt by 1 + 2 + 3 + 4 ohm. So that is 0.01, because this is 10. So 0.01 ampere. So starting from A, how to calculate the potential difference? यही क्वेश्चन है. A से शुरू करके B तक हम जाएंगे. A से B तक मेरा EMF will be 0.025 volt. So VA plus EAB minus I into RAB, RAB का जो रेजिस्टेंस minus I into RAB is the VB. This is from basic current electricity. So VA plus 0.025 minus I is 0.01 into RAB is 1 ohm is equal to VB. So VB minus VA is 0.015 volt. So 15 millivolt is VB minus VA. पर से EMF कितना जनरेट हुआ 25 millivolt. VB minus VA कितना है 15 millivolt. Are they equal? No. है ना? So the potential difference between A and B is not equal to EMF across AB. Because why? Because there is resistance in AB and current flows through AB. जैसे आप current रेशियो पढ़े हैं, तो EMF for the battery is not same as the potential difference across its ends because of number one, current is not zero, and number two, internal resistance is present. The same thing, exactly identical thing I am stating here. Similarly, starting from B and traveling to C, by B से शुरू करो, C तक जाओ, करंट इसी डायरेक्शन में जा रहा, so VB again plus total EMF from B to C is 25 millivolt minus I into 2 ohm is VC. देखते हैं क्या लिखा मैंने, ठीक, VB plus EBC minus I into RBC is equal to VC. VB plus 0.025 volt minus 0.01 ampere into RBC's 2 ohm is VC. So VC minus VB will be, VB को राइट कर लिया, तो VC minus VB will be 0.005 volt, 5 millivolt. हो गया ये. तो सिमिलरली मैं CD में कैलकुलेट करूंगा VC CD. So VC plus 25 millivolt minus I into 3 ohm is VD. लिखा कि नहीं मैंने, VC plus ECD is 25 millivolt minus I into RCD is VD. So VC minus VD is equal to 0.03 minus 0.025. So 0.005 volt, 5 millivolt. So VC VD से भी बड़ा है. हम क्या देख रहे हैं हम लोग, VC is greater than VD as well as VC is greater than VB also. Am I clear? So VC minus VD is 5 millivolt. VC minus VB also 5 millivolt. So VD must be same potential. चलो वो हमें कोई चिंता करने की बात नहीं है. ओके, अब DA, अब कौन सा बच गया रे DA. तो VD से D से शुरू करो, एक ही तरफ चलो. So VD, I'll see VD potential here, then I'll see a EMF rise of EMF from D to A as 25 millivolt and minus potential, that is drop of potential minus IR, I into 4 is equal to VA. अभी इसमें आपको कॉन्फिडेंस आ गया होगा. So VD plus 25 millivolt minus I into 4 is equal to VA. So VD minus VA will be 0.04 minus 0.025, 0.015 volt, 15 millivolt. So VD minus VA is 15 millivolt and VB minus VA also 15 millivolt. So VB A से बड़ा है VA से और VD भी PA से बड़ा. ओके, अब आप पूछो भाई VB अगर VA से बड़ा है तब करंट कैसा फ्लो कर रहा है. इज नॉट ए पैसिव कंडक्टर तो नहीं है ना, उसमें एनर्जी सोर्स है, तो इट इज पुशिंग द करंट लाइक दिस. यू मस्ट हैव सीन इन करंट इलेक्ट्रिसिटी सो मेनी टाइम्स. यस और नो? सो मैंने ये पूरा चारों का पोटेंशियल डिफरेंस भी निकाल दिया चारों रड के अक्रॉस. तो जो क्वेश्चन था वो भी मैं आंसर कर दिया. तो ये डिटेल में दिखाता हूँ. ये जो लूप था उसको थोड़ा सा बड़ा करके दिखा रहा हूं. A B C D है ना. Since potential difference exists between A and B, B and C, हमने कैलकुलेट किया अभी C and D and D and E. इलेक्ट्रोस्टैटिक फील्ड मस्ट एग्जिस्ट. नहीं तो पोटेंशियल नहीं है. मैं लास्ट क्लास में आपको बताया था पोटेंशियल डिफरेंस इज E इलेक्ट्रोस्टैटिक इनटू DL है ना. तो इलेक्ट्रोस्टैटिक तो अवश्य होगा उसमें चारों में. तो वो देखेंगे क्या है. ठीक है. So electrostatic field must exist inside the conducting rods pointing from higher potential to low potential points. Obviously, you know, electrostatic field points from high potential to low potential points. It arbitrarily assign the A as a 0 voltage. So VV minus VA is 15 millivolts. So 0.01 volt is VV. VC minus VB is 0.005 volts. So this is 0.02 V. VC minus VD is 0.005 volts. So this VD must be 0.015 V. ये सब आज पहले में निकाला ना, ये सब इक्वेशन तो लगा के मैं बोलता हूँ. So VC आ गया 0.0, VB BA 0, VB 0.015, VC is greater than VB by 0.005 means 0.02 volt. VC also VD से greater है 0.005 में, so VD must be 0.00, VD must be equal to 0.015 volt, and that's it. ये तो 0 volt हमने ले लिया. ओके, फिगर 3 में दिखाया मैंने, इसको ही लिखा. I have shown the electrostatic field in green arrow mark. तो फील्ड दिखा देते हैं. ये बड़ा है पोटेंशियल, ये छोटा है, तो फील्ड लाइन ऐसे रहे, फील्ड डायरेक्शन ऐसे रहेगा. ग्रीन एरो में मैं दिखाया इलेक्ट्रोस्टैटिक फील्ड. तो इलेक्ट्रोस्टैटिक फील्ड विल पॉइंट फ्रॉम बी टू ए. एंड ये छोटा, ये बड़ा है, सी बड़ा है वी से, वी सी ग्रेटर देन वी बी. सो इलेक्ट्रोस्टैटिक पोटेंशियल फ्रॉम सी टू, इलेक्ट्रोस्टैटिक फील्ड विल पॉइंट फ्रॉम सी टू बी. ये भी ग्रीन एरो मार्क लगाया. एंड वी सी इज ग्रेटर देन वी डी ऑल्सो. So electrostatic field will be pointing from C to D, green arrow mark. So VD is greater than VA. So electrostatic potential in the DA will point from D to A. So this, see these arrow marks here, here. Understood this? Am I clear? Green arrow mark में दिखाएं. Since electrostatic field must present producing potential difference, so how electrostatic field must be there? So charge accumulation must be there at points A, B, C, D. So A, B, C, D में charge ऐसा accumulate होगा. ये तो actually neutral है, but charge will redistribute such a manner that they will produce these fields which are shown by green arrow mark. Electrostatic field must point from high potential to low potential points. So electrostatic fields point from B to A, C to B, C to D and E to A. मैंने अभी आपको समझाया. As shown in by the green arrows in figure 3. Assuming in each individual rod to be homogeneous. Homogeneous means their material properties same. Each individual rod is homogeneous. Rod AB may be different from BC, but AB itself is homogeneous. तो EAB क्या होगा? EAB कितना होगा? VB minus VA by length will be EAB, electric field pointing from B to A. So VB minus VA is 0.015 by length is 1 meter. तो E कितना होगा? 0.015 by 1, so 0.015 volt per meter. ये EAB का फील्ड है. EBC का सिमिलरली VC minus VB is 0.005 by 1, 0.005 volt per meter. Pointing from C to B. It is pointing from B to A. Same identical, I am just writing here. ECD in CD conductor pointing from C to D, because VC is higher than VD. VC minus VD 0.005 by 1, 0.005 volt per meter. Similarly, EDA. ED is greater than A is 0, D is 0.015. So, different VD minus VA by L. So, 0.015 volt per meter is the electric field pointing from D to A. Okay, so यही मैंने निकाल दी. So if an electrical circuit is, in an electrical circuit, the resistivity of the conductor change at a point, means the conductor with a new different conductor is joined there, then electric charges appear at the point, that junction point. ये हम यही देख रहे हैं. To produce electrostatic field inside the conductors to maintain the current in the circuit, the current value in the circuit same everywhere. Current has to be same everywhere, so that to maintain that, some charges will accumulate at the junction of the two conductors, where if they are having different resistivity. They're different from each other. Okay, so there is the charge accumulation at the junctions. If the both side conductors across the junction are different, that's what we are seeing. Am I clear? Because why? Because if the one rod is having a bigger resistance, bigger resistivity, or bigger resistance, let us say, depending on length and cross section area, then the field should be such that it has to be a bigger field there to push the charges corresponding to the low resistance rod, because current has to remain same. Understood this? So this is what physically I mean in this case, and we are observing that. Okay, so this electrostatic field gives rise to the electric potential difference between the various points where the resistivity undergoes change in value. That's it, we have said. Second point to note, charges are accumulated at point A, B, C, D in a manner so as to create electrostatic field to ensure a smooth current flow of the same magnitude everywhere in the loop. That's what I told you just now. But net accumulated charge are A, B, C, and if total charge बाहर करेंगे the net charge must be 0. क्यों भाई? As the loop is neutral. चार्ज इधर उधर हो गए. Charge इधर उधर मतलब electrons shifted from one point to other. Somewhere is more electrons, somewhere less electrons, somewhere electron deficit value. So like this we have maintained, but total net charge plus and minus all put together will be still 0 because initially loop is neutral. ये समझ में आ गया? ये चीज आपको ठीक से समझाते नहीं है. इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड कैसे आएगा भाई? तो नॉन कंजर्वेटिव इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड. अरे भाई नॉन कंजर्वेटिव इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड है that creates EMF, but once EMF is there and the charge accumulates, charge separation takes place, so potential difference comes into picture due to electrostatic field developing between the 2 points. मैं क्लियर हूं? अभी आपको थोड़ा कंसेप्ट अभी क्लियर हो रहा? चलो मैं खुश हो जाऊंगा अगर कंसेप्ट क्लियर हुआ तो. क्यों इसको लेके आगे मैं कुछ क्वेश्चंस कराऊंगा जो कि used to be difficult for people. Now you will find that you don't need much of my help to solve this. If that happens, I'll be the happiest person in the world. Okay, so give importance to my lectures, come regularly, subscribe to my channel so that, as you have not noticed till now, all discussions are very much conceptual in nature, so you don't miss anything. And tell your friends also to see them. All people should grow, yes or no, in confidence, and all should know the topics clearly. Subject should be clear to everybody, irrespective of their background whatsoever. I don't care. Am I clear? So all of you, please go through my lecture, regularly come to my channel. Yesterday that capacitor problem came in NEET. A capacitor, uncharged capacitor charged by another already charged capacitor. I have given in VDL 48, I have given that discussion in a very, very general manner using a mechanical analogy. Those who have done, if you have done that, I guaranteed that time that it will be any problem of this nature can be solved within 30 seconds. It came, I'm happy. Those who have followed it, they must have done. Anyway, let's stop here. Very soon I'll come with the sequel to this one. So thank you all the best. Have a good day.